And I am about to cry right now because that is him. And I have been missing him lately, but I still have the energy to get up and do this. So, bringing everything together as a whole is towards the pathway to self-fulfillment success, is being a very conscious, selfish person. Being consciously selfish is not being manipulative. That's not included in this. It's not being petty. It's not being mean. It's not being mad at the other person, but it is also not about controlling the environment that you're in, but it's feeling and reading the environment that you are in. Because by reading the environment, then you know where your lane is. When we stay on our own lane, I think, like I talked about in my previous podcast that just came out in 2024, the first episode, I talk about this, that when we stay in our lane, we can grow exponentially because it's a certain type of energy wavelength that we bring. We can grow exponentially and we can expound on that energy. I don't want to use the word safe in our lane, but because that's your lane, you and only you belong there. Being a consciously selfish person, you, like I said, are on your lane, can expound on the energy. You're living in a certain wavelength. You're able to strip off other things that are not allowed or don't meet the energy criteria of your lane and your pathway to successful fulfillment. By staying in our lane, we are essentially on our pathway to successful fulfillment. Fulfillment of success. Successful fulfillment. I'll just go with that word or that phrase. Because we are doing the things that we are meant to be doing. You are on your pathway towards your destiny. And it sounds like, a pretty easy formula. I think when we first get started, like I said, we've created all these different identities, right? And once you start to ask for things that will provide you your soul fulfillment, then the universe will provide you opportunities in order to shed and to shake up that skin, that shell. And you don't want to, get rid of your human skin, but your shell that's not allowed with you to go on this path. And then that's where the drama happens, right? We're like, oh my God, why is this happening? I'm just trying to be a good person. I'm just trying to get on to my pathway. Oh my gosh. But you have to remember, when things are shaken up in order to slough off things that don't belong with you, it hurts. That's the word that is used, shaken up, right? If you're able, the best thing here to do when your life is shaken up that way is to roll with the punches, is to flow like water. Now, this is not a formula for everybody, right? Because we all are working on different things. What I'm saying may not be the exact formula for you to choose. But these are the certain things that I'm pulling from the atmosphere or even from my life experiences as of current. So I'm just trying to give you a little bit of insight. And even if you're not the type of person, because I'm not the type of person to flow like water, you know? How crazy does that sound? Especially if you have like some, you feel like you have to control everything. A controller has a 99% chance of being unable to flow like water. But if you flow like water, you can get around obstacles and be an observer. You don't want to be a controller and pull those things, those controlling things towards you that by default stop you from getting where you need to go. Sometimes we just have to move right through things. We're not going to flow. We're just going to, boom, walk right through it. But I'm recording this in the middle of after the first eclipse, right before the second one, and Mercury retrograde just had started. I just have to take a deep breath because I'm not going to replay everything that, I've seen on TV happening during this time or anything like that. But this is when I'm filming it. And I'm really moved to say that you want to flow like water. Alright, so I was talking about flowing like water. This is Chester, or you can be like him, her, I don't know. And eat everything. He'll probably even make poop on my shoulder. Please don't do that. So before we end here, let's round this all up and sum it all up. Okay? So what is your pathway towards successful self-fulfillment look like? And I think that there's how do we get onto that path bracket if we were to write it down? What do we need to do to stay on that path, the second bracket? And what do we want it to look like, third bracket, right? So because we have to plan, in order to even step foot on the pathway of successful fulfillment. What makes you feel fulfilled? What excites you? What makes you feel happy? And I know there's a lot of people that talk about like, go out and find your happiness. And I keep talking about referring back to your childhood and what made you happy then. Because as we grow up, we start to lose or forget, or veils are put in front of us in order for us to forget. So try to remember what made you happy during that time, and how you can bring it to the here and now. What does consciously being selfish equate to? And we already went over certain parameters or guidelines that are not included in being consciously selfish. Okay, it's what is not included in there are lower level vibrations. Remember that when your life gets shaken up, when you want to start onto this path, life will shake you up. It's just you sloughing off old parts of you, old identities of you that you're getting rid of because there may be heavier vibrations that don't belong on this path towards self-fulfillment, right? And flow like water. So I think that is the last part of all of this. I hope you were able to see Chester in the little video. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Strip Down to Love podcast video. And remember, like George Strait says, I'm not here for a long time, but I'm here for a good time. And that's kind of my thing for getting onto my own pathway towards successful fulfillment, self-fulfillment. Jumani, I'm gonna say bye. Bye. Bye, everyone. He's so sleepy right now. It's not even funny. He really does not look like a bag of potatoes. When he is awake and he's not bored or whatever mood he's in right now, he's so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and we love him. All right, take care. See ya.